I just really learned how to deal with things that come up.
Mm-hmm.
I learned to deal with them better.
Feel their energy, feel that connection.
Yeah.
Aikido is all about the connection with the other person and redirecting it according to the other person's needs. If they're an old, brittle, little old lady, you know, you're going to do something differently than a 20-year-old guy.
I'm more of a negotiation or cooperative person, and I think it's wonderful that there's a martial art that embodies that.
You know, you can protect yourself and you're not going to hurt somebody or kill somebody. You know, you're sort of trained against that.
Well, what we practice in Aikido is trying to neutralize that energy and not harming the person. And the "and" part is what makes it such a challenge.
You might be fast enough
I had heard about Aikido back in the 70s, I think, when I was in the service, and but I thought it was more like stick fighting or sword fighting or so.
I expected a lot of kicking and punching, and I expected it to be a lot like karate.
Partner practice is one of my favorite things about Aikido because when I was younger I did a karate, and in karate there was the sparring, which was fun, but the majority of the time was spent on katas, and although practicing your form is important, I do get a bit bored. So I like interacting with the person because you in Aikido, one of the things is you're trying to take their energy and move in a direction you want them to be in.
if you got in here, how are you going to do this? Your body's going to so make this go up and around with move your body. Yeah. There you go. Very good.
Focusing the mind is kind of a lifelong pursuit or practice. You know, you never really get there, but I think that it gives me more possibilities to focus the mind on a task at hand, on learning something, on going somewhere and planning something, on interacting with a person.
Okay? Now we've got something that we can turn to our advantage. Right? We teach coming in. Because this gets that person in a place where they're dominated, if you will.
That is something very important to keep me calm, relaxed, to listen what other people have to say.
And then when someone is angry or aggressive, Aikido helps me stay calm.
Yes, that makes sense.
Because as soon as you get in the mindset of collaboration as opposed to opposition, it increases your bubble. Opposition is always about you, and it's like everything is about
Right.
in terms of how it affects you.
Right.
And
And then if it's in opposition, you only see the things that agree with that. And if it's collaboration, it's like expands the possibilities of what are they doing and why are they doing that? Oh, they're an independent person, maybe with a life of their own. And there's a real famous story about a young Aikido student in Japan. He just had started his studies, an American, and he's on the subway. And this working class guy gets on the subway, and he's drunk, and he's fighting, and he's just being really mean.
Yeah.
Right? So the young Aikido student is like, well, I get to show my Aikido. I'm going to go over there and do this technique and pin him and blah, blah, blah. So he was getting ready to do this. Meanwhile, this old Japanese man came up to the guy and sat next to them and said, What's the problem? You seem sad. seem whatever it
Okay.
was. And the man started crying and saying his wife had just died, and you know.
Oh yeah.
And the young student said, "Oh." So, so the operative word is he was still young in his studies.
Yeah.
If you will. Easier than if what you're trying to do is to force them into submission through pain. People will respond against pain, they'll try and drag themselves away or they'll strike out. But if they're just being taken off balance and they're not being hurt a lot doing it, it actually works better. But you got to get into a dominant position.
Well, you know, I know what it's like to just sit around, and I've been sitting around for about 7 years. So it's like, you know, you get that point, God, it's now or nothing. It's like do or die. So I had to find something to do with my time. And Aikido did that, and then doing Aikido helped me build up enough energy and confidence to get my GED.
I think when you have a purpose in life, when you want to accomplish something, I think Aikido is something that can help you a lot. If you have the visions of what you want, where you want to be, I think Aikido can help you with that a lot.
Well, you know, I just really enjoy doing Aikido. It's given me a lot of self-discipline, you know, trying to be here every class gives me, you know, they say like part of the battle, half of the battle is just getting here, and that's really true. At the end of March is when I had my first Aikido class, and 2 days after that I quit smoking. I consciously used Aikido to give me a reason to change. I used it in order to quit. I needed something else to do to keep my mind off of smoking, you know?
It's on left side, right side. I think it's
Sure.
With Aikido, people are friendly and helpful.
Everyone's very friendly. We get along real good. There's no animosity or aggression. That disappears right away within probably the first month of practicing Aikido. We learn how to cooperate with each other and trust each other that we won't get hurt.
So it's, how do I have my reality, everybody has their reality. How do I want to interact with people in the world?
It's about how I want who I want to be in life, how I want to act, how I want to make decisions.
I've gotten a lot healthier, like my lungs, obviously, but yeah, just in general, I've lost weight.
Realize that it's more than that. It's not only the martial art, it's more, and I think it's the most important aspect. It's the philosophy behind, the ideas, the histories, and everything else. And call everybody, if you have the time, if you have the desire to do something different, come over here and practice an Aikido.
I just took the plunge, you know, and you know, I like the result. I felt a lot better.
My name is Heriberto. Everybody call me Eddie.
My name is John.
My name is Evelyn.
And my name's Tim.
My name is Adam, and I've been studying 2 years.
For 3 years.
For about 9 months.
21 years.
And I've been practicing Aikido for more than 30 years.